There was one performance this year that stunned me. It sank its hooks in my heart. It was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back. It kind of broke my heart when I saw it. This instinct to humiliate, when it's modeled by someone in the public platform, by someone powerful, it filters down into everybody's life because it kind of gives permission for other people to do the same thing.
Well, the Golden Globes were supposed to honor America's best performances in television and film, ostensibly, but last night they turned into a politicized circus, as you just saw. After receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award, actress Meryl Streep ripped Donald Trump in a lengthy screed. She also, for some reason, ridiculed the sports of football and mixed martial arts. Radio show host and Lifeset editor-in-chief Laura Ingraham blasted what Streep said, calling it, quote, tedious and pedestrian. Laura Ingraham joins us now in New Jersey.
I'm sorry, but I had to wear this for Alabama. Of course,
Alabama does trump all, doesn't it?
I'm sorry, but I had to. Coach Battle, who's the athletic director of Alabama, came on radio today, and I said, basically, do you dare me to wear this? He said, you're damn right I dare you to wear it on Tucker's show. And he said he loves Tucker, but got to wear the jersey.
Did you say roll damn tide?
You darn right I did.
Amen.
I was going to be at the game, but they were going to fly me down, but I decided I had to be with you tonight.
So I'm glad you did.
Had to be
and I'm glad you're here to explain what that was about. Now, the obvious response is here are rich people talking to each other, sneering at the rest of the country.
Yeah.
But what's really going on here? What was that about?
Well, I think, she probably really believes what she says. I think there is a lot of gnashing of teeth in Hollywood and among other progressive elites. And I wrote a book years ago called Shut Up and Sing, which addressed some of this, the Dixie Chicks, et cetera, et cetera. And I think for a lot of us that really love Meryl Streep, I know some people think, they think she's overrated. I know Donald Trump, I think she's phenomenal. I think she's a phenomenal actress. But it's to me, it's a little bit, I guess I'd say selfish to be up on stage and you're being honored for your work in film.
Right.
And you decide to take that platform and turn it into a political speech. I just think, why turn off half of America? I think it's probably ill-timed. He's going to be president of the United States. And imagine if a conservative actor, and there are some, got up right after Barack Obama was elected and said, I really think he's illegitimate. I think he's going to destroy the country. I think it's going to be more racially polarized than ever. I think he's going to not grow our economy fast enough. And I think he's an absolute buffoon on foreign policy, doesn't know anything, and probably America's going to be weaker 8 years later. They would have been destroyed. A conservative actor would be destroyed for having done so.
Well, of course. But if she had done the equivalent of that, it wouldn't bother me nearly as much because those would be political points. She was not so much giving a political speech, but a sermon. The undertone of it, the subtext was, I'm a good person, and you have fallen short, Mr. and Mrs. Trump voter in America. Where did that come from, the moralizing?
Well, I think it's the deep loathing and the deep, it's a guilt to I've done so well that now I have to be part of this club where we talk to middle America in this very mocking tone. I mean, it's ironic that she talked about Trump in the Disabled Reporter, as if no one in Hollywood in positions of power mock, ridicule, or take advantage of people in lower economic standing than they do. I mean, anyone who knows anyone has been in a casting call, especially with some of the, the top directors in Hollywood. There can be humiliation. There can be sexual harassment. All sorts of things happen in the higher echelons of power in the entertainment industry, which I'm sure, top actresses like Meryl Streep know a lot about. It's not like Hollywood has some a standing to look down on the rest of America for, okay, if you supported Trump, you're implicitly biased racially against anyone who's a, quote, immigrant. You're against anyone who is of a different sexual persuasion. It is so insulting. And the most monolithic, intolerant group in America, among them, is Hollywood. Because so many of people I know, you know, and I know, are literally afraid to speak out because they won't get work. They will not be hired. They won't be hired as a grip, let alone as an actor in a major motion picture, if people think they're conservative. I mean, there are a few conservatives, but usually they're people who have already made it and aren't that afraid of speaking out.
So the problem with self-righteousness, not just from actors, but from anyone, is that it sets you up, the self-righteous one, for scrutiny.
Yeah.
So when Meryl Streep gets up and says basically the president-elect is a bigot because of his immigration policy and his policy toward refugees, you have to ask, at her massive estate in Connecticut, has she taken a lot of Syrian immigrants in to live with her?
I would imagine the answer to that is no.
I would too.
And maybe she's incredibly generous. And again, I've had the chance of meeting her a couple of years ago. She's perfectly nice at a film premiere. But again, this is not what we go to see film for. This is not. And this is why so many people are tuning out these award shows.
Increasingly, we don't go see films. Is this part of the problem?
I think it's hard to see an actor and actress today when we see them speaking about so many issues that are polarizing and that divide Americans. I mean, you really used to see, people who might have had really difficult and did have difficult personal lives, but it was kind of the illusion. Olivier said, acting is all illusion. It's a game of illusion. But there's something to that. A little mystery is nice to have, because when you're seeing someone act a role on screen, you don't want to think, oh, God, she was doing that rant about Trump at the Golden Globes. You just want to think, wow, she was great and out of Africa, or she was great, and it kind of destroys that a little bit.
Too much information. Adam and Eve didn't eat of the tree of ignorance. It was the tree of knowledge that got them in trouble.
I wouldn't lecture Meryl Streep about acting, believe me, and I don't think maybe not lecture the rest of us about Trump.
I don't want to know what Meryl Streep thinks about the president.
Really,
no, I totally agree.
Nice job,
Ingram,
acting.
May your team win, whatever team that is.
Okay, and we'll be politically correct. Everybody's a winner tonight. And you're going to get a big trophy. Congrats on the show.
Thank you. Great to see you.